Okay, let's take a look at where we are at in the Republican race. Trump has 329 delegates so far. Ted Cruz follows behind with 231. Marco Rubio is in third place with 110 delegates. The threshold necessary to win the nomination is 1,237 delegates. Well, now on Super Tuesday, Donald Trump has won in 7 states. All previous Republican presidential hopefuls who have won Super Tuesday went on to win the nomination. The possibility that Trump could actually become that Republican candidate for the 2016 election has led several members of the party to speak up against him, and we saw that there in that package. Let's get more on this. I'm joined now in the studio by Sean Michael Cox, a political scientist and the Director of International Academic Affairs at Bahcesehir University. Sean, good to see you again. We got a sense there of sort of the attacks on Trump. It's clear the strategy now for the Republicans is to give Trump a taste of his own medicine. Do you think it worked yesterday, and did it do any damage?
Well, this was the 11th Republican debate that we've had, and it was certainly one of the most entertaining. Marco Rubio has taken on Jeb Bush's role as Donald Trump's punching bag, but he gave almost as good as he got, with Ted Cruz following on with some other shots. Now, while there were no knockout attacks against Donald Trump, they did highlight his poor record as a businessman and some of his failed adventures in the past.
But do you think this sort of attack is now too little too late? Should they have started with this strategy a lot early on, perhaps?
Yes, they should have started with the strategy early on, because he's gotten a lot of momentum behind him now, and depending what we see on March 15th, especially in Ohio and Florida, if Trump is able to do well in both of those states, he will be the nominee.
Are you surprised by how little we hear in these debates about policies and sort of the crux of what these candidates stand for? I mean, there's so much bickering going on. I mean, does that not bother the people of America?
While it is disappointing, it's not surprising, because it seems what the people want. They want an outlet for their anger, as business as usual in Washington, and this is providing that outlet.
One of the interesting things that came up in the debate yesterday was the Trump University. There were quite a few questions put to Trump about his record on that. Tell us a bit about that.
Trump University was an endeavor by Donald Trump to brand his image academically, and he was advertising courses that would guarantee people success and earning money. Thousands of students signed up for it, paying upwards of $35,000. Many of them were very unhappy with the results of the course, and he has a number of lawsuits against him regarding the institution.
Do you think this particular case might end up damaging him? Because Americans don't like to be, they don't like this sort of story, do they? No,
they don't like this sort of story, and I can't think of any time in the past where a presidential contender has been subject to such a large number of lawsuits, or any lawsuits for that matter, during a presidential contest.
Okay, we could go on discussing this forever. Sean Michael Cox, good of you to join us from a political scientist from Bahcesehir University. Many thanks.